Hello and welcome to Saturday Sports Extra. Today meant trophy time for the Nashville girls basketball team, plus the MVC pairings for Arch Madness were revealed. But we begin with Saluki basketball's final game of the regular season. SIU visiting Wichita State, who's unbeaten at home on the year. Saluki's trying to end the regular season on a high note. It was all Wichita State early though. Clevin Hanna, the senior, taking over, scored the game's first 8 points. The Salukis trailed 10-0 early. And then later in the half, Demetric Williams gonna hit from downtown. Shockers were up 20-5 in this game, and SIU had a whole lot of ground to make up. Dogs in transition. Justin Bocott taking it in for 2. That cut it to 11. And Kendall Brown-Searles, one of the lone bright spots for the Salukis, a career-high 15 points to pace SIU, cuts it to single digits later in the first half. SIU trailed 38-26 at the half. And then second half action. Dogs showing some signs of life. Carlton Fay on the backdoor cut got the Salukis within 8 points, but JT Durley going to come right back down and answer for Wichita State, working hard inside for the deuce, 42-32. And after a 13-2 run by the Shockers later in the half, Kenny Manigault putting the exclamation point on the blowout as Wichita State waxes SIU 76-55 the final. So just an ugly game for the Salukis, who never led in this one. Dogs got down 10-0 early and never recovered. The lone bright spot, as I mentioned, Kendall Brown-Searles, who had a career-high 15 points. Well, meanwhile, Illinois State could secure the 2 seed with a win over Valley champ Northern Iowa today. Second half, Panthers up 4, turning up the defense off the steal. Adam Cook going to take it in for the jam and a 6-point lead. And then under a minute to play in this one, Osiris Eldridge from downtown, and it is all money. Redbirds were within 3, and Cook would come up a big again later in this one. The monster rejection inside as Northern Iowa going to go on to win 61-55. Well, around the MVC this afternoon, Creighton finished 4th in the Valley with a win over Bradley, and Indiana State edges Missouri State in overtime when Harry Marshall hit a 3-pointer with 1 second left in the extra period. Meanwhile, in Des Moines, Evansville picks up their 3rd conference win with a 56-53 victory over Drake. Which brings us to the MVC tourney pairings for next week. Salukis will face 8 seed Drake in the early game Thursday, and the winner of that game meets top seed Northern Iowa on Friday. On the other side of the bracket, 8 seed Missouri State plays Evansville in the other play-in game on Thursday. The winner of that contest will take on 2nd seed Wichita State on Friday. Meanwhile, Creighton wrapped up the 4 seed today with a win over Bradley, and 3 seed Illinois State will take on 6 seed Indiana State also on Friday. Well, after a 26-1 start to the season, Kentucky basketball is primed for a #1 seed come March Madness. But today, the Cats a chance to wrap up at least a share of the SEC crown with a win over Tennessee. Vols handed #1 Kansas their only loss of the season earlier this year. Tennessee making a statement in the early goings, though. Cameron Tatum on the break. Vols went on an 18-0 run in this game. And second half, Tennessee lead still double digits, up 16, but Kentucky came storming back. DeMarcus Cousins for the dunk. The Wildcats would tie it at 65, just over 2 to play here. And late in this game, the Vols up to Scotty Hobson, 0 for 5 up to this point from 3-point range, hits the clutch triple when it is crucial as Tennessee knocks off Kentucky 74-65. Well, elsewhere in the Big Ten, Bruce Weber's Illinois squad down 19 to Minnesota, and the Illini's late rally comes up 2 points short. JUCO men SIC rolls over Olney Central tonight, while the SIC ladies also cruise tonight, 96-60. Well, the Nashville girls basketball team is quickly becoming a regular at the state tourney. After coming up 6 points short in a semifinal loss last night, the Hornets looking for their 2nd straight 3rd-place finish. To do that, they'd have to get by McNamara, though. Hornets up 9 in the 2nd quarter of this game. Melanie Ryan gonna drop in the J. Nashville was up 20-9. And then later in the half, Jenna Morris gonna take it and drive the lane for the land. Hornets were up 10. They led by 3 at the half. Then with just over 5 minutes to play, Erica Tatum, the deep 2 here, going to cut it to a 4-point ball game. But later, Morris going to come up big again, her 3rd 3 of the game. She finished with 13 to pace Nashville, and the Hornets take back-to-back third place finishes back home. Well, shifting outdoors, Saluki softball falls to 4th-ranked Michigan this morning 10-2, and this afternoon Auburn and SIU locked at 0 until the top of the 7th when the Dogs score the game's lone run. And meanwhile, after an 11-inning marathon last night, Saluki baseball falls to Jacksonville State today 11-4. Rubber game set for tomorrow to decide the series in that one. Well, that's going to do it here on Saturday Sports Extra. MVC basketball tourney, of course, tips off on Thursday, but I'll see you back here tomorrow at 5. Until then, enjoy your weekend. Good night.